Thanks, guys. It is so good to be back and have the gang back together again, as you've all actually obviously caught on. The regulars, that is, Hempology is back in some sense. May and June, every year, we're going to be here in Beacon Hill Park, playing our game show and having our tournament, which includes a whole bunch of our annual contests, which will happen in like 3 weeks. You may remember our joint rolling contest. We have our belt still. We're going to give each year the name of our joint rolling champion will be put on the belt each year, and we'll have our pipe and bong contest, our song and art contest, and our t-shirt contest. That all still happens on July the 9th. And there's a whole bunch of other meetings and stuff that happen with Hempology throughout the year. I'm going to talk some about them through the next 45 minutes or so while we play our game. You can read about them in Cannabis Digest or online at the hempology.ca page. In our forums, we have a whole bunch of information about what we're doing and what's happening, and invite you to check it out there. But today is another exciting day. Last week was our last quarterfinal in our 4th annual Reach for the Pot tournament, the world's only cannabis game show, and it was really exciting, a really close game. And now we have our final 4 teams. 16 players are ready to settle it over the next 2 weeks down to the final 8, and then next in 2 weeks' time, after the semi-finals this week and next, we'll have our final for the tournament. But let's get our teams up here and get this game on the go. So we'll put the Chronix crew over here, which is Colby and Rajon, and Sylvia is going to sub in. It's Sylvia, right, for Eric. Eric's kind of showing up late on the bus here. Oh wait, okay. We can move them. Okay, we'll put Chronix crew over here then, sorry. Steve's got the bench here, and so Chris and Walbrand and Daryl and Christy are over here with the Green Herb, are the team that won last week's game.
I'll be right there.
So we can get everyone up here and get this game started. So Christy. So there she is talking to him. Christy, game on. Who else is it? There's Chris. Daryl,
right
there he is. He was just preparing himself. Daryl's done studying the. Okay, so I'm going to explain the rules here for everybody. Certainly our contestants, I would think, know how to play, although Sylvia hasn't seen it a lot yet. This may be, in fact, her first time getting in the game here. So here's how it works. There's 8 chances to get points in your trivia questions. When I ask the question, if you know the answer, you hit the buzzer by clapping. As soon as you clap, I'm going to come over and you got to give a response. You can't talk to your teammates or think anymore. You can talk to your teammates and talk out loud and guess with each other, but when you clap, that's when you got to give up an answer. And until you clap, I won't take an answer either. And so if you get it right the first time, it's worth 20 points. If you get it right the second, or the other team gets a guess for 20 points if the first team doesn't get it correct. Then each team gets a second chance for 10 points. I try to give out some hints, and if no one gets it right there, we do multiple choice, which is 5 points. And I'll explain it as we go through one of them, which I'm sure we will at some point. Now, you're at a disadvantage with this first one probably as well, because the first question I ask each week is in relationship to either Hempology 101 or what we call our sister club, the Cannabis Buyers Club of Canada. For over 12 years now, I've been selling cannabis products to people with permanent physical disabilities and diseases. And now I've got a store with over 2,300 members, we think, 2,300 active or alive members, you could say. And it's quite an organization. It's really exciting to be a part of. And we have many things planned in the future that in some ways I think are quite historical. And we've talked a bit earlier about some of the work we have done as well. And hempology does lots of things, even aside from these meetings here. We have a club at the university, which is kind of offline now. But until last year, these Wednesday night meetings used to be every single week for over 12 years. It was the only place in the world that had a weekly cannabis rally in any way, shape, or form. And so, for 20 points, can any one of our contestants tell me, within 20 meetings, how many weekly hempology meetings did we have before it was canceled? You guys, many of you were there when it was canceled, the last couple of meetings, and this number was, if you know in the crowd, and I know at least one does, please keep it to yourselves, guys. If you remember the final number, it's pretty incredible. But within 20, how many weekly meetings did we have every single week, rain or shine? Sometimes there was 2 of us, sometimes there was 4, but Steve, how many was it? 630. No, it was not 630. So within 20, I said, yeah. So it's not 610 or it's not 650. It's and obviously these guys are still deep in thought over here. 700. Holy cow! The answer's 681. So within 19, you got it there. I think he cheating. He's doing a calculator on him. Oh, that's nasty. Oh, I never thought of anyone doing that. Okay, well, let's see if that karma comes back to bite Chronic's crew. Last week, actually, Walbrand can only complain so much because he got here last week by stealing 10 points off the other team. Because I should warn you, last week the other team said the answer without clapping, and when I said they had to clap, he did it and stole the answer. And it would have been tied. We figured it out. It would have gone into overtime if he didn't steal that 10 points. But, so, you know, anything goes in this game, folks. But let's see. Colby's Chronic Screw got 20 points, but let's see how long it lasts. Now, I didn't bring a copy of the newspaper article here, but there was, I think, a picture in the Times columnist. I like to take stuff out of the current news. But last week, you may have read or not in the newspaper or online that the world's largest drug bust ever occurred in Afghanistan. Within 20, how many tons of hashish were seized last week in Afghanistan? Within 20, how many tons were seized in the world? No, keep her down over there. Other people may know the answer. That's good. You're in next week's game, Sue. So I'm glad you're studying, but you're not in tonight. It's got to be up. So please, if you know the answer to these questions and you're out there, keep it to yourselves. Compete against these guys, add up points in your head, but don't spit it out. It looks like a game, but this is dead serious. There's not only points on the table, there's prizes here tonight, but the winner of the tournament, which is at the end of all this, the winning 4 players each get trophy bongs that will say Reach for the Pot Champs 2008 and their name written each on those 4 bongs. So Christy is the first to guess here. 10 tons? No, you misunderstand the question, I think. It's within 20 tons. So give or take 20 tons. So plus or minus 20 tons. So, yeah, I won't accept that answer. I sometimes do that if people... So, you know, basically, if you guess 0, you get up to 20 tons. Because it's... Yeah. Okay,